Okay, so Asmongold was banned from Twitch, and I want to take the opportunity just to talk a little bit about his views and the context of all this in terms of Twitch and in terms of obviously, the arch nemesis Hasan and the way he's been shaping his content politically recently. He got banned for saying, I think he called for violence against children in the context of this video about immigrants in Spain, in Ceuta, in the south of Spain, bordering to Morocco, I believe. He's been leaning into a lot of politics, which I think is fine. I do enjoy a lot of his content in that regard. Watching him react to like Hassan reacting to him, like it just gives a very interesting like depiction of the state of politics and the state of these Twitch streamers in general, and that part of the culture or part of internet culture. I do not enjoy his Jerry Springer sort of bait trap. Like those videos are bait, like just guys run around in big cities. And this one did seem, I did watch parts of it. It did seem a little bit more investigative and like they're talking to locals. The fact that they can be made says something about what's going on, and the fact that they're made and so like biased also says something about what's going on the internet. So my hot take about Asmongold is that he is actually fairly centrist. And I think this Twitch ban is just a symptom of like, this is just always what's going to happen to people on the right on the internet still. And that's kind of why we're still living in this like late 2010s, 2020, early 2020 situation where like conservatism isn't really that mainstream for most of those. Like nobody's really changed their minds. Some people have moved to the center, but I wonder, I think the key thing is the upcoming demographic, like Gen A and Gen B, and where are they going to land based on what they can see and hear online? Because at the end of the day, the reason why conservatism has grown so much online and become this like thing that's a little bit trendy is basically because the arguments are good and they lend themselves to very, very strong clips and very, very strong content online and the debate format really well. So you have, Asmongold, who is actually like socially, I know I don't want to say socially very progressive, but like definitely socially on some issues a bit conservative, but on some other issues very liberal and very progressive. And it's weird how conservatives online or like centrist adjacent people online just never get that benefit of the doubt. It's a shame, No, I was never that into Shoe0nHead, but I've gotten a bit more into Shoe0nHead recently, and I feel a similar way about her story. It's crazy to me how so many people on the left just completely think these guys are so one-sided, and there's just a complete bias there, and I just think it's quite unproductive for the left. Now, Hassan Piker is somebody I've been meaning to understand more, and when I watch his current content, whether it's his streams or when people react to his streams or his clips, I feel like he's so deep into his career and so deep into his political timeline that his core fan base knows exactly what he thinks because he's been talking about those things for the past 10 years or something, I guess 5 to 10 years at this point. I did come across his most popular videos on YouTube, like those clips from like 6 years ago, from like pandemic times. In those, he actually like reacts and talks more about his take. So I got to go back and like look at those to get a better idea because I do want to enjoy and consume Hassan Piker's content because I consider myself quite in the center and I find him, regardless of what you think about him or his actions, quite relevant. But my issue is that it's just easier for me to engage with someone like Asmon's or Shoe0nHead's content because they talk about their takes and why they think their takes, and they're willing to sort of get their hands a bit dirty. Even if Asmongold doesn't want to debate people, he's like consistently explaining himself to the point where like he has to repeat himself quite often over several days, which I think it's important to do. And I think that's something that could come to bite Hassan in the butt in the future. I know there's all this lore about like Twitch's CEO being friends with Hassan and that's why he never gets banned. I don't care too much. This is just the regular state of affairs, and somebody getting banned from a platform like doesn't matter. I know it causes easy points and easy tweet points and easy like reaction points for a lot of people to like report on that and talk about that. And it obviously created a news cycle that made me make this video. So I guess cheers to that, because I need an excuse to talk about the things I talk about. It's an interesting climate. Twitch banning him doesn't matter because there's always Kick, there's always these other platforms. He has a girlfriend now. I don't know anything about that. It's crazy, but cool. I mean, happy for him if that's what's up. Yeah, wishing him the best.